All right, now many today will take from the book of Hosea, the prophet Hosea, in regards to the mass animal die-offs that we have seen since 2011, birds falling out of the sky, millions of fish washing ashore, cattle dropping over dead in Vietnam and elsewhere around the world, livestock, and attribute that to the signs of the coming apocalypse, to the birth pains. But do we actually find this in the signs given in Matthew 24 by Jesus himself? Do we find this in the book of Revelation? We're going to cover that in detail in a moment. Um, and do we actually find this among the 10 signs of the coming apocalypse? Let's take a look at the 10 signs of the coming apocalypse. Number one, knowledge will increase. The advancement of knowledge, the explosion of knowledge. That during the end time, an explosion of knowledge will occur. Uh, Times of present technology advances, such as airplanes, life support systems, internet, the internet. Now, we get this from the Bible, the living word, if you will open up your Bible and not follow man. And this is from the book of Daniel. But you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book till the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. We find that in Daniel 12, verse 4. There will be an explosion of knowledge, not an explosion of birds falling out of the sky, of cattle dropping over dead, of millions of fish washing ashore. But knowledge would increase. Plagues in the Middle East is another sign of the 10 signs of the coming apocalypse. Now, the end times there will be plagues and signs that are similar to plagues, like the effects of nuclear radiation. Very important. This is one of the signs of the coming apocalypse. And we may be looking at that right now with what's taking place in Japan, Fukushima. And I'm talking about radiation. Now, the prophet Zechariah foresaw these future plagues, and he wrote, "And this shall be the plague: their flesh shall dissolve while they stand on their feet, their eyes shall dissolve in their sockets, and their tongue shall dissolve in their mouth." We find this in Zechariah 14, verse 12 through 15. And also, we can take a look at the Ebola virus that causes similar symptoms, and the effects of nuclear radiation. And nuclear radiation, such as the fallout, we may be looking at this being fulfilled right now with what's going on with Fukushima. It can literally dissolve your flesh. Another sign, but I haven't found yet, millions and thousands of birds and fish falling out of the sky, washing ashore dead, cattle dropping over. We do find that, however, in the book of Hosea. But is it for this time? Now, the rebirth of Israel is another of the 10 signs of the coming apocalypse. Let's go back to 1948, when the United Nations announced their recognition of the State of Israel. Now, Israel is described as the fig tree, described in Matthew. Israel is a young tree, and it will be reborn and growing. As soon as the branches become tender and start putting forth leaves, the end times are at hand. We find this in Matthew 24, verses 32 through 34. The Jews will return home, another sign of the coming apocalypse. But again, I fail to find where birds are falling out of the sky and mass animal die-offs. And we find this in Jeremiah 23, 7 and 8. "As the Lord lives, who brought up and led the descendants of the house of Israel from the north country, and from all the countries where I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land." Jerusalem no longer under Gentile rule, another sign. I mean, there are just so many signs of the coming apocalypse, and we understand this. The fact that the Gentiles controlled Jerusalem from 70 AD until the Six-Day War of 1967. And we find this in Luke, that Jerusalem would be trampled by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles is fulfilled. Luke 12:24. Uh, International instant communication. I mean, I could go on and on and on. Now, the advancement in modern technology, satellites up in space, the television, radio, the microwave, the internet, the World Wide Web, where we have information at our fingertips. Where at one time, if there were a large number of birds that maybe fell out of the sky, we would read it in our local newspaper if it happened in our area. But we would be unaware of what's taking place on the other side of the world or in other places of the United States or the United Kingdom. Where today, through the advancement of technology, we've got the World Wide Web at our fingertips. We can hear about 5,000 birds falling out of the sky in Arkansas, and within a matter of seconds, we can hear about turtle doves falling out of the sky in Italy, and millions of fish washing ashore. We can hear within a matter of seconds through modern technology. One of the signs of the coming apocalypse, where cattle are falling over dead in Vietnam. But I don't find these animal deaths as part of the birth pains or the tribulation. Days of deception. We are going through that now. The days of deception, famines and pestilence. We're going to do this. We're going to cover this in Matthew 24, and with the onslaught of deadly diseases such as the Ebola virus, AIDS. We're going to talk about this coming up. Earthquakes in diverse places, and as it was in the days of Noah. Stay tuned, and I'll be right back. We're going to continue with this. Stay tuned.